Bonesaw is ready. Bonesaw is ready. Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay, guys, let's make that a meme again. Let's make that a meme again. It's my favorite. Wow, it's been a while. Wow, a month since my last upload. Where have I gone? I've been a little preoccupied, not gonna make any big excuses. I think that I'm ready to start again. I have 2 videos I just recorded, one's done. I just wanted to get this one out first before the other one, so those will be up. Today is Thursday, right? I'll have a build video up tomorrow, so be ready for that. And then another part for that later, still gonna edit, and then other stuff. But hey, you're not here for that, are you? That doesn't matter, that's completely irrelevant to the rest of today. Because today, we're gonna re-look at the CPUs and stuff local listings number 8. And we're gonna find some places. Now please, wait for the end of the video before you post more zip codes and stuff. So the criteria, 3 things. You need your 5-digit zip code from the USA, your city, and then your state. And then I can look it up, because I need all 3 of those things to get the exact location you're on offer up. Let's see if there's any 10s or 580s. Oh, none. What about 1060? There's one for 360. Hey, what's that? It just says Intel processor. A 3570K for $100? I think that's good, isn't it? Let's look at eBay. Yeah, 100, 100, 120. So 100's a pretty good right here. There's 90. But yeah, I'd say 100's pretty fair when it comes to a 3570K. Here's a GT 220 for $100. That's a good deal, you know. Oh, here's a 580 for $60. I like the 580. That's good. They're being reasonable, calling it a mid-level card. 3 gigs of RAM, so this is the better version. So when the 580 came out, it had 1.5 gigs of RAM, but then games were, you know, getting to have a higher, or needing more memory. So then what you can do with the memory bus, say, I'm not super knowledgeable on this, but I know that you can't take 1.5 gigs and just add another 500 megs and make it 2 gig. You can only go up in variants like 1.5 to 3, 3 to 6, 2 to 4, and that's why we, in 4 to 8, that's why we see numbers like that, because you can't just add on random amounts of memory. But I like what they were doing, what EVGA was doing, at least with the 500 series, where they were all like kind of color coded. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but the 580s were blue, the 570s were red, the 560s were yellow. I don't know anything below that, but I think that was probably it anyway. That was pretty cool. 60 bucks, that's not terrible for a 3 gig card. I mean, it is very inefficient when it comes to power, but I like the 580. Oh shit, I'm sorry, Broke Gamer. I completely forgot about this. So he asked me to do an ASMR video where like I can, you know, just talk into the mic like this while I do a build, and I can still do that. I can still do that, like I can do it like whenever I want. It's just I did it, and it was just inadequate. That's what a lot of my videos are anymore, which is why I'm not posting, because I need, or I feel like I have a higher standard now. It's not much of a standard, but I can't just shit out content, so that's why that never came out. So sorry, Broke Gamer. I apologize. Okay, Gustan. 75020. Not a lot around you. Here's a gaming PC for $250. DIY PC case. I mean, okay, I have to give credit to DIY PC. They have really low price like cases, and they're not bad. Like for the money, they're not bad at all. Okay, so you got a Phenom quad core, probably like Phenom 2X4 945 even now. That's just one I used to have. 5 gigs of RAM, very weird number. A 550 Ti, 1 gig card. 2 terabyte hard drive. It's hard to justify. I mean, the hardware is so old. All of it's like really old. The processor. I mean, IPC is so bad on those anymore. And then you get a 550 Ti, only a 1 gig card and 1 gigabyte. Like, they don't even have cards anymore. Wow, current generation cards. I even noticed, even on the low ends, they don't exist in 1 gig variants. That's interesting. Even the 1030, which I have up here, is 2 gigs. And so is the RX 550. That's interesting. Interesting to note that 1 gigabyte is just gone. And if you look at the memory, this is like really cool. If you look at the memory, okay, let's quit this video. Let's just not do this. Instead, I'm opening up Excel because I gotta do this. So let's start with the 1080, the 980, the 780, 680, 580, 480, and I'll stop there at the 480. So 1.5 gigs of VRAM on the high. This is the highest end card. So that means everything else had the same or lower. The 470 and the 570 both had lower. I think the 470 might have been a full gig, but the I know the 570. I'm talking about GTX, not RX right now. This is NVIDIA years ago. That had 1.2 gigs. This also had 1.5 though. And then they came out with one that was 3 gigs because that became like not enough, you know? So in one generation it stayed the same, and then later like, we need more memory within a year. The 680 I think was a 2 gig card, and then came out the 4 gig version later. 780 had 3 gigs. There's only one version of that as far as I know. 980 had 4 gigs. And then the 1080 now is 8 gigs. And within 6 generations, they gone from like 1.5 gigs to 8 gigs of memory. Because the games are developing so much, and more hardware and more memory is needed. And we're getting to higher resolutions. 1080 was like a high thing there. And then up here, we're looking at 1080, and you weren't looking at 4K unless you had a couple 980s. Because it was like you could play 4K, but 4K really wasn't around, you know? Like it was still becoming adopted. At the same time, the performance just wasn't really there yet, and you could be playing on like lower frame rates. So I would say this is when 4K was starting to be adopted right here. And now 4K is suddenly a thing. A generation later, it's popular now. Here's a $300 computer, it's a $100 processor. 660, that's like what, like $70, $70? A Z77 board, so you can overclock that 3570K. 8 gigs RAM, which is about $35 to $40. Sound card, a terabyte hard drive, that's about 50, so 150. I'll call it 230. I mean, the Z77 boards. I feel like they're at least $70, right? Yeah, they're at least $70, so that's not a bad value. That's just the hardware list here. That's not including the liquid cooling apparently that it has. That is a big case. The CD drive, I mean the case itself, the power supply, then you have, I guess the cooler, it just says water 2.0, and then the sound card. So I mean that's pretty good for 300. That's a nice budget computer or entry level. That's perfectly fine. Here's a GTX 50 for $75. What is this? You need more numbers in there. You're missing a very important number. Oh wow, is that the 460 Cyclone? No, it's a 550 Ti. Oh yeah, this is right there. 550 Ti. $15? Someone buy this right now. I don't care if you're on welfare. That means nothing to me. You need to buy this card. $15? I think this design was just really cool. Now we'll never see something like this again. We'll never see. We've gone away with the weird cooling things. Let's look in Philly. So we got 19124 Philadelphia. I'm actually going to Pennsylvania quite soon to visit some family in August. So yes, that is not what I typed in. I actually just built my uncle a computer, and I'm editing the video right now. He lives in Pennsylvania, so hell yeah. And you'll see that video maybe next week or so whenever it's edited. Build videos take a hot minute to edit. Plus the audio messed up and stuff, so I'm trying to work with that. I'm just getting nothing here. I looked at oh, he's 960. Okay, so it's 4 cores, 8 threads. These processors are, I think, not worth this much. No, it's like 50. I think these processors are cool though, especially the 6-core ones, the like the 980X and stuff. I think they're very cool, but it's almost a niche thing at this point. It's almost just a collector's item, and it's not even worth anything. I mean, if you can overclock them to 4 GHz with like a crazy cooler and a really expensive 1366 LGA board, then you're looking at a lot of money for not a ton of performance. You're using DDR3. You won't have USB 3.0. You'll be missing out on PCI Express 3.0, and it's cool to have, but it's not a platform you want to live with, you know. All right, let's look up CPU. See what that does. Okay, so you get a motherboard, an i7. So an i7 4770K. This is a really good processor. So 4 cores, 8 threads. I mean, it's unlocked. You can probably get it to 4.6 gigahertz at least. But for 200 total, I mean, the i7 itself, or 200 especially, I mean, for that price, you'd get a, you know, a 7600K i5 unlocked. Oh, fuck this guy. Isaac Rivera. Okay, so here's the i7 920. And this guy's saying 250, and here's his reasoning. It's $300 in Amazon plus... It's $300 plus tax on Amazon. Selling for $250, runs good, everything works. Everything works. Can pick up this weekend. Fuck you, Isaac. Here's why. You can't use Amazon prices for everything. If this is like what 7 generations old, you can't take a retail price for that. What the hell? And I'm gonna check Amazon. Well, I went on Amazon and found one for 30 bucks. Yeah, new offers are going to be expensive because those things are, it's retail price, and because the stock is so low, then the price is raised, and it's stupid to assume that, I mean, or to even ask for a price like that. Yeah, $33, $15, that's how much this is worth. It's a pointless processor, mainly because the platform is so damn expensive. If you look for a motherboard for it, LGA 1366, you're going to be spending at least $100 on a board, and most of them are server boards, which you'll just use a Xeon for, so might as well grab a Xeon instead. But these are so expensive that it's pointless to adopt. And unless you get a very good deal on the board, I mean, here's the thing, it wouldn't be a bad deal if you got a good deal on it. Like if you got a really cheap price, then fine, that can justify it. But if you're spending $50 on a processor on an outdated platform, and then $100 plus on a board, then you're wasting your money. And look at this EVGA classified board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI Express slots. What the hell? Jeez, you do not see motherboards like this. They're gone. There are some really cool boards from a couple years ago that you just don't see anymore. Look at that orange and blue board. Orange and red, and we need, okay, I know everything's about RGB now, and just like mutual colors, and having everything on the same color scheme, but come on. I really think these were pretty. I don't know why, but old boards like purple on them, or whatever, orange and yellow, I think those have character. Those are pretty. So, I don't know about you. Alright, I think we have time for one more. Who will be the lucky winner? Breathless Tuna 89, 37659, Jonesboro, Tennessee. It's easy when it's like structured like this, because then I can just copy and paste it, you know, and it's much easier. I don't like the Alienware laptops just because they're so thick. I like portability, and at that size, it's just like I wouldn't want to take it out anywhere. It's like, this is too gamery. I'd rather just set up at a desk somewhere and play. But I get if people don't want to have multiple computers. It's just I'm really not into the really thick gaming laptops like those. Plus the battery life must be abominable, you know? It must be abominable snowman. Computer tower with ads. I have a tower here, comes all possible 3 sticks. With it is a possible 3 sticks to RAM, 2 of the 4, 2 of the bring 4, and 1 being 8. Please spell check. And a graphics card, NVIDIA GeForce, and all would use a hard drive. So it's a computer without a hard drive. GeForce graphics card, you don't know the processor, you don't know anything about it, except for the amount of memory, and It means nothing. Memory is like the unit you go to, like how much RAM a computer has is the unit you go to by default if you don't know anything about computers. Like, you know, it's like, oh, how much RAM does it have? So I can't justify this price at all because I don't see anything about it. So, hey. All right, well, thank you. I have to edit this video, upload it today, and I'm back. I'm going to upload the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you next time. Goodbye.